Hello Hoopers, Roro here from Project Hoop, and I'm uploading these videos that I originally taught as online classes during COVID-19. I'm sure you can appreciate that the quality of them is not amazing, but it's not about that. It's about making hula hoop accessible to anybody and everybody who would like to learn. So I hope you enjoy these videos and happy hooping. Bye-bye.
Stop your brakes at the front because, so side, 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 side. It's all nice and controlled and it's touching my back. If I go to the front, 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 you're allowing the back to slowly start to come down, and that's when it's going to go floppy. Okay, so nice, good, May, that's it. Hold that hoop up when you send it. It's lovely to see you as well. Lovely big house there in the background. Nice, Michelle, that's it. So don't be flimsy with it. Don't be like, we're not batting it. If you're batting it with your hands, it's gonna go wrong, okay? We are catching, holding, 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 holding. So I hold it, yeah? So I'm holding it. Each time I catch it, I hold it and I hold it up. Okay, Sylvie, let's have a look. Nice, good, that's it. You know where we're at. Good, Alex, nice. Let's try and get rid of that rotation. So let's just try and go in with a half, 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 half. That's it, come on, man. There we go, nice. Keep it nice and straight. Good. Alrighty, let's get on with some breaks then. We've talked about stance. We know we don't want our feet moving around. We know that we need to be making those 2 points of contact. We know we need to be pulling it over. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at these breaks down here. So when we do breaks down here on our arm, the area that we're going for is, I go for just above where my elbow crease is. Okay, that's where you want to be going. When you do your break on your arm, you want your arm to be straight. Okay, we don't want it to be crossed over or bent or anything like that. Okay, so I'm going to use my right hand as my hand that's holding it, and then I'm going to use my left hand as my break arm, okay? So I'm going to send it over with my right. My arm is going to come down. It's going to come down to the side of me, like I said, not the front. If you go at the front, the back is going to come away and your break is going to go, okay? So I'm holding it, I send it over, and I bring my arm straight down, nice and clean, right at the back, right at the side. Okay, now if you want to have your arm this way or that way, that is up to you, but make sure you keep it that way. Don't start changing it around. All right, so send over and break. Nice, good. That's it. And you want your arm to come right down at the side of you. Okay, so there's no gap here at all. Good, May. You've been practicing. Let's have a look. Sylvie. Nice. Michelle. Good. Keep that arm straight. Bring it straight. Dish down. Yeah, Alex is going straight for it, but let's concentrate on getting that baby nice and straight, okay? It's about doing it straight and controlled. Okay, so send over, break. So this is my left hand, left arm that's doing it. Okay, I'm now going to switch over to my right arm that's doing it. Okay, so same thing, different side. Send it over, bring your arm straight down, right at the side of you, and break, and break, and break, and break. Yeah? Cool, that's it, mate. Pull it over, keep it straight. That's good. Sylvie, let's have a look. So I'm guessing that you guys went with your dominant hand first, and that's why with these ones, they're a little bit more off, which is totally fine. I always get my non-dominant arm out of the way first, which is my left, because I like to get the horrible parts out of the way and get to the goodness. But that's just me. That's good. Straight down, really nice. Really nice. Arm nice and straight, please, Michelle. That's it. Good, Alex. That's looking good. When you stop it on the other side, I want you to make sure that you put it over so you've got full contact. Cool. Okay, we're all good there. Right, let's dive straight into this then. We are no longer going to use our hand to hold it. We are just going to go in with breaks on both sides now, okay? So remember, arms are straight, yeah? You want it to be nice and clean, and you want it to come down at the back, at the side of you. You want to be doing it just above that elbow crease area, and you want to make sure if you're going in like this, that you keep it like that on both sides, or if you're going in like this, that you keep it like that on both sides, okay? So whether you're away or forward, choose your battle and keep it there. Okay, let's go. So in, in. There we go. Break, 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 break. Nice. Good. That's it. And remember, you want to be trying to keep it straight as possible. That's it. We're going to go in with some doubles in a minute. Okay, and remember, you want it to be touching your back the whole time. Okay, let's have a look. And remember, you want to keep yourself nice and still as possible. That's good, that's good, that's good. So try, if you feel it's going, that's good. Now, one thing that happens, so a common theme is people tend to start going backwards. Don't go backwards, and this is why I say nice little tip is to tuck your pelvis in, and that means that you're squeezing your buttocks and you're putting your heels of your feet into the ground, and that will stop you going on a bit of a journey. Okay, yes, it does hurt a little bit. Yeah, I know, there we go. So remember, arms nice and straight at the side, and we've just got a bit of a movement as we turn ever so slightly. Good. Let's have a look. Cool. Cool. Good. And when I do it, I kind of, I just hit at the back. So I don't do like this kind of motion. I don't go like a backwards swimmer, because I don't know. I mean, you can. It's up to you. There we go. But you want to make sure that you're touching this area, because if you're not, then it's going to go wrong. Okay? Okay, take your time. Make sure it's there. Okay, so we're going to add in some double breaks down at the bottom now. So what I want you to do when you're learning with me is I just want you to focus on you. So if you're struggling with those ones, I want you to just do those ones, okay? I just ramp it up so people have got different things that they can be working on, okay? So what is a double break? A double break is where we go like so, okay? So that's on my left, that's on my right. So we're going to start by doing the break that we were just doing, but I'm going to apply a stabilizer hand just so I can demo it, and you can do that as well whilst you're learning it. So as I send it over, I'm going to bring my arm down to do my break as I normally would, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of scratch, so I kind of do this between it, okay? So as the hoop comes here, I've got this scratch going on, and you can see there is a gap between the hoop and my body, ever so slightly. So I'm not bringing my arm down right at the back like that and trying to keep it as close as possible and doing this, because what you're going to do then is you're just going to smush the hoop into you and it's going to go wrong. So you bring it down at the back, and then you allow this tiny little gap where I can only describe it as kind of like you're scratching a record, but you're doing it between this area, so you've got this kind of kind of thing going on. That's what works for me in my head, okay? So you can hold it up and you can just do it with the one, or you can go straight into it with the double, doing the breaks. I'll show you what I mean. So if we're going to do it with the one, we're going to hold it, send it over, and we're going to apply, okay? I'm not expecting you to do like a million scratches at once, but if you can just get two, that's good. So you can go 1, 2, 1, 2, yeah? And you can do that with your right, that's my right side, and you can do that with your left. Yeah, so 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Nice. Good. I remember when you're doing it, sorry, excuse my voice, a little bit hoarse today. Remember, you don't want to be like doing that, okay? You want to just keep it here. Allow that little bit of movement, okay? Now, if you want to demo it, if you want to do it where you are just going straight in with the breaks, then you can do that too. So you can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, so just add it in where you can. Just get your confidence. Just be like, yep, I know. There we go. And then just play around, trying to get as many in as possible. But take your time with it. Don't smash yourself up. Like, the competition is only with yourself. Like, you don't want big bruised arms. You're gonna have bruised arms. Okay, that's it. So I'm just spotting. So again, try not to have your, that's really good, Alex. Yeah, just need to straighten it up a little bit. And I think the way that we can do that is just a little bit of a twist, a tiny little twist. So good. Cool. Way. Okay, so Sylvie, yours is like coming off. Nice. Okay. So what's going? That's really good, Alex. That's wicked. Yeah. So Sylvie, one of the things that's happening with you is when you're doing it, you are bringing your arm too far forward, and then you're coming into this way. You kind of smush it, and that's why it's coming up and doing like this escalation kind of business. So you're going like, and then it's, it's going like that. Yeah. So we want to make sure that we just keep it here, just to the side. Better. So it doesn't need to come all the way over to the front. It's just happening here. That's where that scratch is at. That's it. Really good. Let me just shut this off. This is a lawnmower. Thank you, neighbours. There we go. Okay. So let's see. So Michelle, you want your hoop to be making full contact with your back. It's not. Okay, and you want to make sure that you are feeling it on your sides, on your waist, and that's why it's going a little bit all over the shop. That's good. Okay, so May, let's have a look what's happening there. That's good. That's good. That's good. Nice. Yeah, so a little bit less of a twist once you've got that down. Might straighten it up, okay? But whilst you're learning, that's cool. Let's have a little look. Oh, you're going for a firework. Yeah. I just can't help myself with the fire ones. I want to go into breaks and it never ends well. There we go. Nice. Okay, so Sylvie. Good. Keep yourself nice and still. Better. Make sure that you're really straight with your arm when you're doing it. Okay? And try not to move as you do it. Yeah, so try and and then just swing over when you go. That's it, that's better. There we go. Cool. All right, so it's a whistle stop tour, it is. So let's talk about adding some different things into this. So we've got the double breaks that we're doing, yeah, or we've got the single breaks that we're doing, depending on what point we are at. But what we're going to look at now is using this gap so we can put our arm into it, okay? So we're just going to come back to holding the hoop a moment, give your little arms a rest. There we go, cool. And what we're going to do is just go back to that drill that we were doing earlier on. You're going to go side, 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 okay? But what we're going to do a little bit differently this time is the arm that is opposite to the hand that's holding the hoop. So in this case, my right hand is holding it, my left arm is going to go in the gap at the side of me, okay? So pass, gap, pass, gap, pass, gap. Or you can go right, left, left, right, whatever works for you, okay? And again, You need this full contact as much as possible along your waist at the back, and you need to be holding it up, because if you're not, then your hoop is going to miss your back, and if it's missing your back, it's not making full contact, which means it's going to fall down. Okay, so let's just get with this. Nice. Gap, 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 gap. Perfect. Gap, 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 gap. Okay, so holding it up, Michelle. That's it. Alex is on it. That's it. And again, this is why earlier on I said, once if you've got this full rotation or a double rotation going on, you want to try and get rid of it as fast as possible and just be gap, 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 gap. Okay, cool. Right, there we go. So why are we doing this? We are doing this because the hand that is catching it is going to become your break, just like you did in the first two breaks that we went over. Okay, and the other one is going to go in the gap. So let's have a go at that. So I'm going to send it over, gap, gap. So break, gap, break, gap, break, gap, break, gap. So I'm breaking with my right and my left is in the gap. Yeah, or I'm breaking with my left and my right is in the gap. Okay. Nice. May's going straight in. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, make sure that you're pulling it over and you've got that contact. You need that contact. Okay, so you don't want to be, as you're turning, you don't want to be turning away from the hoop. You want to make sure that you're making an effort with your body. Nice, Alex. You're making an effort with your body to be touching the hoop because you want it to stay straight as possible. Okay, so there we go. Gap, 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 break, gap, break, gap, break, gap. And you can have your arms straight if you want, like this. You can make little fists. You can do whatever you want. Gap, break, gap, break, gap. And you need to practice that on both sides. Yeah, so right is the break. Get a perfect 3. I'm all for the number 3. If you get things 3 times, perfect. Then you can move on to the next thing. It's yours, but only for that day. There we go. So break, gap, break, gap, break, gap. Nice. Okay, any questions before I move on? No? Yes? Alex?
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah.
So like the whole thing is often a thing you do, like when you're hoop dancing, like going to hold, but like I guess really fast, and it looks like you're breaking it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I'm, like, if I'm holding it, so these are, so at the beginning, so when I'm doing this, is that what you mean?
Yeah. So like, can it be part of like a routine, like a big like break pattern, to like actually hold it rather than breaking it? Feels like cheating, but
Yeah, no, it's just for drilling. So if you're drilling, okay, so we can do it like that, and then we're gonna go in with these ones. But you can also, which I'll come to, you can go from this point and pull it up as well. So we can go into that. So if you can pull it over, and then we can go straight up from there, and we can add that to wrist wraps, which we're gonna do as well. Okay? Yeah, nice.
Vortexes?
Yeah, so we're gonna come to these
Yeah,
wrist ones.
that's what it's called up in the States.
Is it?
Yeah, vortexes.
Oh yeah, vortex. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, straight up into that baby. Yeah. So we can we're gonna go into some little ways of getting up into those as well in a moment. So all right, let's have So I'm going to. Any more questions? Any more questions? Anything else you want to ask me, Alex? Han?
I'm good.
No, you're good. Cool. Okay. So let's now, without further ado, let's just do that pattern, okay? So we're not gonna hold it. We're just gonna go from these ones to putting our arm in the gap, yeah? So gap, break, gap, break, gap, break, gap, break, gap, yeah? That's it. So you want to really think about, if you get to a point where your brain goes, oh, yeah? Just come back to this point, slow it down, center yourself, get yourself straight, and just come back to just going like this. And then when you've got that confidence moment, just go, ah, fuck it. Yep. That's it. Yeah, there we go. So I'll show you from the back as well. So we're going to come. Yeah. Nice. That's it. Nice. And like I've seen people do like touch breaks as well. I used to do them where you kind of just touch it. Touch, 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 touch. So you're kind of touching the hoop with your hand. I used to do a lot of those and I stopped doing them because I was like, is that a thing? So as it's going, you touch it with your hand. Touch, 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 touch. But they really hurt. And I didn't intend on teaching them, I've just remembered them. Yeah, so it's like touch. Yeah, let me try. Shouldn't do this. Touch, 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 touch. So you're touching, you're kind of snapping it. But like I said, it's not something I actually intended on teaching, so I shouldn't. But you can do that as well, but you will feel it on your fingers. Okay, so that's just like a touch, 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 touch. Yeah, or we can go in with the elbow break. So break, 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 break. Okay. You're good, yeah? That's it, nice. Ask me. Hello, lovely.
Hi, great to see you.
You too.
When you touch, from the outside or the inside?
So when I do those touch ones, which was totally not what I was supposed to be teaching, I touch on the inside and the outside. So touch, 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 touch. So yeah, so inside and the outside. So if it's, let me think, because obviously I did not intend to teach this, and I regret saying anything. So when I'm breaking, I hit it on the outside, and then the hand that would normally be the one that's on the inside with that like kind of ninja one, I'm touching it on the inside. Yeah, so break side, inside of hands, non-break side, inside, no, we start again. Break side, outside, non-break side, inside.
Very much, thank you.
You're welcome.
Got myself back on you.
It's alright? Yeah, so touch, 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 like that. Okay, let me just let Alex back in. May, you have frozen, my lovely. There we go. So just having a little look at you, Michelle. That's it. Keep yourself nice and straight. Nice. Hey, that's good, Sylvie. That's real good. Nice work. Okay, so I'm going to move away from those touch ones because, as I said, like, it was not part of my plan. Yeah, but if you're doing them, it's just touch, 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 touch. So I'm just going to go back to the ninja ones, which is what I call those ones. So with those, so gap, 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 gap. So break, gap, break, gap, break, gap. What we're going to do now is we're going to add one of those scratches. Okay, so the double breaks. We're going to add those into that, yeah? So we're going to go 1, 2, 1, yeah? 1, 2, 1. Oh, sorry, I was trying to do it on the other side. 2, 1, yeah? So you're adding that double. You want to do that on both sides. 2. That's it. Nice, nearly. And remember, when you're doing it, try not to move your body with it. You want your body to stay nice and still because you're scratching it against it. If you're scratching something against something and that something's moving as you're doing it, you're going to kind of smush into it, or it's all going to move around together. So you want to keep yourself as still as possible so you can like scratch it. If I'm scratching and this is moving as it's going, it's kind of counterproductive for that whoosh that I'm doing. Yeah, nice. Whoop. And if it's coming up at the back, remember that's because you want to make sure that your break is happening right here, right at the side, allowing it to touch all of your waist. Yeah, because if it isn't, then it's not going to happen. Okay, and you want to be drilling that with both sides. So you got your right, left, right, left, right, left. Cool. Nice. So remember, just at the side, so not too far forward. If it's too far forward, it's going to miss your back, and I think that's what's happening with you, Sylvie, on certain sides. I think it's missing your back, and that's why it's coming down ever so slightly. Okay, but it's good. We're all doing fantastic, and we're going to be moving on up to the other parts of our body in a moment, so you can have a little bit of a rest down there. Okay, any questions before we move on up? No? Okay, fab. So everything that we just learned down here, we are going to transfer to up here. All right, so where I'm going to start with this is, I'll give you a little bit of a rest. We can start with pinch, or we can start with under. Let's start with, I think, you may go on. I think the second one, under. Okay, we'll start under. All right, so the hoop is sitting on top of my elbow out area. Yep, here, like this. Cool. And I want you to bring it down so it's kind of, if you look at mine, it's kind of making contact with my shoulder blades. It's not up here. If it's up here, it's gonna come off very quickly. Yeah, so sit it down and sit it quite comfortable. I've got it so it's kind of sat where my elbows crease up. Okay, it's really important yours is at the same area. Not like this. Bring your elbows down and bring it down. So you don't want to be like this. You want to be like this. Cool. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to practice sending the hoop over and catching it. Over and catch. 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 Hello, Alex. Over and catch. And again, when I talked about these 2 points of contact, I was not kidding, yeah? So when you're pulling it over, I'm feeling it on the opposite side. So the same as down here when I was saying you want to feel it. So pull, 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 yeah? Okay, so you want to feel it. It's got to be touching all of your top area the whole time. Okay, if it's not, it's going to go wrong. And when you're doing it as well, you can't be bringing your arms up. Okay, you need to make sure it's tightly fitted around you. Yeah, so over, 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 ooh. Over, 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 over. And I'm feeling it on that opposite side. Okay, so if you can't feel it when you start to go in for your breaks in a minute, it's going to go floppy. Nice. Okay, let's add them in. So, when I do my breaks up here, what I do is I always do it with this area. Okay, I don't use my hands, I don't use my fingers because you need them and they're really delicate and they're really easy to break. So I use my wrist, which is nice and solid, and doesn't really go anywhere and isn't going to get too messed up as it happens. When I do my breaks up here as well, I make sure that they occur right here at the side of me. Okay, so I literally bring it up and I trap the hoop between this area and I hit it with my wrist. I'll show you what I mean. So I've got it here. So what I'm going to do, instead of catching, yeah? When I was talking about it, pull it over so you feel it here. If you don't, your brakes are going to go like floppy, okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold it with my right hand, I'm going to send it over, and I'm going to brake with my left. Okay? And it happens right here at that area. Over. Okay. Right on my wrist. And I feel it slap me on the opposite side. So I'm braking on the left, and then I feel it as it goes over, it's going to touch me on the right. This is how you know it's straight. If it's not touching you on the right, it means it's not touching your back, which means it's going to come down and it's going to go wonky. Okay, so I brake with the left and I feel it on the right. And if you're not feeling it on the right, then it's not straight. And also, if you're moving away from it, so this is why I'm not a big fan of people doing like massive twists. If you're moving away from it, then you're not going to be able to make contact, which is kind of, again, like you want to be making contact because you want your brakes to be straight. Okay, so over, brake, over, brake, over, brake, over, brake. Nice, that's it. Keep nice and straight. That's good, Alex. Yeah. And remember, you're using your wrist because your wrist is not going to get as messed up as other areas. And that's it. Yeah, I'm just holding it underneath, kind of at the side as I do that. So over, brake, over, brake, over, brake, over, brake. And then what you're going to do is you can either swap it over, so you can then start holding it with the left and just brake with your right, or if you started with your right with your left. Okay, so over, brake, over, brake, over, brake, and it's happening at the same point. I'm using the same area. And then once you've got those, you can just go in without holding it, and you can just go brake, 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 brake. But remember, you need it to be tapping on your back on the opposite side to where you're braking. If it's not, that is why your hoop is coming up. That is why your brakes are not straight, because you're not making that contact. But I can't stress how important that is. Okay? So, over, brake, 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 brake. And like I said, I feel it on the opposite side that I'm braking to. And that's how I know it's straight. And like, look, I'm not doing this. Because you start doing this, it's going to go everywhere. Like I said, you're the axis. So if the axis starts to like, oh, do that, then you're going to shake up everything you're doing on top. And it's not going to be straight. Okay, once you've got it nice and neat, nice and straight, brake, 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 brake. Then you can add speed. And when I'm adding speed, I'm not swinging round, okay? It's my knees that are soft. Yeah, it's just my knees that are soft. Brake, 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 brake. I'm just making sure that each time I bring my arm up to the side, and I'm hitting. Okay, and it's nice and straight. And I can already see, like, you need to be, if you're not having that tap on your back, then you know you're not having that tap on your back, which means it's not straight. So I don't need to tell you it's not straight. It's good. Nice. Okay, so again, it has to be happening at the side. You have to be brake, 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 not at the front. Anything at the front is it's off the menu, guys. Yeah, we're not having it. It's got to be at the side. There's got to be full contact. You've got to feel it tap you on the opposite shoulder. Break, tap. Break, tap. Yeah, if you're not, that's because it's not straight. Don't kid yourself. That's good, Alex is nice. That's good. And just make sure you, like I said, like actively engage with it. Don't start going forwards because you're moving your back away from it. You want to be touching your back. So like, think about it. It's not going to work. And don't be moving backwards because then you're creating a gap as it swings round and gravity's getting involved. Like, don't do that. Keep yourself nice and straight. Cool. Okay. So with that one, what we're going to do is we're going to add in a paddle. Okay. So I'm holding underneath. And this is where I'm going to break it down, so I want you to just pay attention. So I'm just going to pretend that I'm breaking with this arm. So I'm going to pretend I'm breaking with my left. And when I break with my left, my right hand is going to come from the outside of the hoop where I was, because we were just doing this, right? It's going to come under the hoop, under. And it's going to come over to the opposite side. So my right hand is coming over to my left side. Okay, I break, so the hoop is like this. And I'm going to tap it again, and I'm going to use that wrist area. And then as it comes over, my right hand's going to come underneath, back to where it was, and it's going to do the break. And the left hand is going to do what the right hand just did. So the right hand is going to go from the outside where it started, under, over to the right side. It's going to tap on the wrist. The hoop's going to come round. It's then going to come under and do the break. And the right one comes over to the left. And it's going to tap. And then it's going to come out. So you're constantly, so break, hand under, other hand comes under, break, hand under, other hand comes under, break, hand under. So constantly the hands, it's like this Tai Chi thing that you're doing. The hand that is opposite to the break hand is the one that comes under and goes to the opposite side. Yeah, so your left to your right, your right to your left. And as soon as you've done that, you're going to take it out and bring it back to that breaking point, okay? So I'm going to show you what I mean. And like I said before, like if you are still getting down with this, then get down with that, okay? Don't come to this point yet. Get your confidence and then go. I'm going to have a go at a paddle, okay? So let's have a go at a paddle. Making sure that this is straight. Over, 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 over. Okay, and what happens is it's like a half a rotation more. And it's really hard, that's it. And make sure that you're doing that little tap. And when you do it, this is why I talk about your back needing to be like in contact with it. Okay, so that's good. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, cool. That's good. Yeah, Alex has got it. So, over, paddle, break, 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 break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle. I'm just touching. Break, paddle, break, paddle. And it's getting down with that pattern. Good. Get down with that pattern. Break, paddle, 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 break, paddle. Yeah? And it's really hard to slow it down because there's so much going on. But remember that the hand that is opposite to the break is the one that becomes the paddle. Okay. Anyone got any questions they'd like to ask me about that one? And just have a go. So I'm just going to have a little spot. That's it. So common themes are you are moving over. So Sylvie, keep yourself nice and straight, hand. because you're moving, and that's why your hoop's moving. Like I said before, if you start moving around too much, it's all going to go wrong. Good. That's good. That was good. That was much better. Yes. There we go. That's it. Yes. Yeah. So just resist that urge to twist with it. Remember, you want to actively engage your shoulders. Yes, May.
So may I ask you, is it, because when you get into the flow, it's so hard to spot what's going on. So if it's breaking here, are you paddling here on the opposite side?
Yes.
Or are you...
Yes. So when the opposite, so let's say I've done my break on my right side. So my left hand is the one that comes up and under and does the break. And then as it goes around, it goes onto the outside to do the break, and the opposite hand comes over, under.
But where is the opposite hand touching the hoop on the inside? Is it touching it near the right hand, or is it touching it on the other side of the hoop?
It touches it near the hand that's done the break. Yeah? So if I've gone over, I've done my break on my left. So break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle. So as soon as I do the break, I hit it with the paddle pretty much.
And if you were to try and slow it down, like you do your break and then does your hand sort of do
Yeah.
this?
So let's do that. So if I break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle. Yeah? Break, paddle. Can you see?
Yeah. I mean, if I kind of try and simulate it, because I can't do that yet at all, but if I were, I can barely break, but if I were to
No, you
break
can.
here,
Yeah.
would I be...
Yeah, so as soon as you've done it, as soon as you've done that break, you're going to go paddle. Yeah, but you're not doing it right next to this arm. You're doing it about here. Let me just let the dog out. It's crying, for God's sake. You can stay outside now. It's a nightmare. Yeah, so I've just done my break. So I'll do it from the right. Let's say I've just done my break at my right. So break, the paddle hand comes here, yeah, and then as it's left here, so the hoop's just done the break, so it's leaving, it's on its way. So when it gets to this point, as it's left, so like this gap, I then tap and then come out over to that side, and this one comes under and to that side. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I just wanted to make sense. Because it's hard because there's a lot going on, and you've just got to get yourself, so just like break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle. And when you do your paddle, don't like try and like have a Barbara with it. Like just tap it. Like you don't need to try and like send it somewhere, because again, if you've got all these conflicting things going on, where you're like moving yourself away, you're smacking it out of the way and all this stuff, like it's not going to stay where you want it to stay very long, because you're doing things that stop that. That's good. So questions, any more questions? Please ask me, because I'm going to move on. Yeah, hello.
And when you break, is the same moment when the hook is to the shoulder?
So here?
When you break,
Yeah.
is the same? Okay. Is the same moment where the hook is your back?
Yes.
Is the same moment?
Yep. So you want to feel it on your back. Yeah, so it's on your back every time. And even when you add the paddle, it's still doing that. I actually wait for when I hear it go dump on my back. That's when I'm like break again. So you should feel like there should be like a beat that I can hear. So it's like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 or 1 2 3 1 2 3. And you should hear it. Yeah, it's like a drumming that you will hear. and you'll hear that 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 or 1 2 1 2, whatever works in your head. We're all different. But you need to you have to feel it on this, and this is why like one of the people say they walk away from my workshops with the word pull it over, points of contact. Like it's so crucial, and that's why I repeat it. If you can feel it tapping you on that opposite shoulder, that's when you go right, break again. You know it's straight. You know it's straight. It's foolproof. Yeah? Well done. You're all doing really, really well. And I'm going to move on. So I hope you're ready. Alrighty. So again, like nobody's going to get out of bed tomorrow going, hot diggity dang, look at all this stuff I just learned. Like it takes a little bit of time and just kind of drilling and repeating, but you're all well on your way. So don't worry. We're just going to park that for a second. And we're going to look at some pinch breaks, and then we're going to add in some paddles to those pinch breaks, and then hopefully get around to some one-handed and some wrist wraps. So let's go over. There we go. I'll tell you what, we'll combine, we'll take a shortcut. I'm going to put my arm under like I was just doing with the breaks and paddles, and then I'm going to have my other arm over. Yeah. Okay, so pinch breaks. They're going to hurt. If you've not done them before, they're going to hurt, and you're going to get some bruises because you're going to be using this really delicate little area that, like, let alone sees the sun, let alone gets any kind of use. So when you're going to start, like, trapping things in between your skin, it's going to flipping hurt. Okay, so sorry, not sorry. It's part of the journey. So let's go. Here we go. So I'm going to start with my right on the outside, and my left is where we were before. Remember, like, make sure you're touching yourself with the hoop. Cool. So I'm going to send it over, and I'm going to bring my arm down, and I'm going to pinch. Okay, and where I'm going to pinch is the same point of contact that was down here. Okay, so it's at the side, not at the front. At the front means it's going to go floppy. Front equals floppy. Get rid of it, yeah? So, I'm holding it. I'm going to send it over. And I'm going to pinch. Over pinch. Over pinch. Over pinch. Okay? Over pinch. Over pinch. So you can hold it to start with, or you can just go in. If you're confident with doing those breaks, just go in with a break. If you're new to all of this, or you're new to this particular pattern, then what I want you to do is just hold it, okay, just so you've got that support. So over, break, break, break. Okay, I'm just going to go in with the just break though. So it's happening at the back, and you're going to feel it on your shoulder each time, and it's here that you are breaking, and you want to make sure. That's good, that's good. Keep yourself nice and still. Whoops, there we go. Under, break, 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 and my arm just and just practice going break down, break down, break down. And then if you start to, as you're doing it, if you start to do this, you get a new pattern as well. Here's a pattern hack. Yeah, so you're like up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And you're just combining that pinch, yeah, and you're combining that other pattern that we did, that break here. And all we're doing is we're just changing the angle of our arm that is doing the pinch. And you will get this new looking thing. There we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and again, I am feeling it. Tap me on that shoulder. Yeah, I'm feeling that. And that is how I know it is straight. Okay, and you want to be doing that on both shoulders, please. Okay, so that's me demoing. See, so when I go, I feel it, and you'll see it smack my shoulder. Smack, smack, smack. Yeah, it does it. Smack, smack, smack. I'm going to do that on my left side as well. Okay. So just going from this pattern if you want, depends how comfortable you are, and then just go into your pitch. Yeah, and you want your arm to be nice and straight. You're all doing really, really well. Okay, so you can do this with like more clothes on to kind of protect your arm a little bit if you want, but if you've got fabric on, it might create a kind of bit of a barrier with your hoop. I prefer to go like skin because I think skin's the best contact, but you will get more bruises that way. So it's up to you. Okay, try not to have your legs too far apart, Alex. I think that's where you're going wrong a little bit with that. Okay, try and stay with one hoop, hun. Good. Good. Nice. Yeah. You can also, with that, you can just be like, I'm not gonna have an arm underneath, so we can either go from here and have break, 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 and we can do that, pulling it back. Break, push, push, push. And then I can go with my other one. Or we can just go over the top, which I'm going to just let you get to grips with that one before I move on to that. So it's going to give you a couple of minutes, just adding those two things together. Nice, nice, nice. And then we'll talk about little variations we can add as well. And you're all doing really well, well done. Good, like it, and keep them nice and straight. Like you can go like Hell Fury once, like you're gonna learn to drive before you get speeding. I hope so. Like you just get it straight, get it right, feel those points of contact, and then just take it for a spin. Nice, Sylvie. That's it. I want you to feel it on that shoulder, girl. That's it. Nice. So try not to move too much as you're doing it, because like I said, what you're doing is you're actively moving your shoulder blade away from it, which is not what you want to be doing. Cool. Alright, any questions about that particular point? No? Yes? No?
Okay,
Yes.
alright.
Hey!
So, what was I gonna say? So what were we doing? We were doing forearms or elbows, or what were we doing, like with your elbow?
Oh yeah, so we're gonna bring that in. We're gonna bring that in, don't worry. So
so we were doing this, okay.
Yeah, so we were just, all I did, so it wasn't elbow, all I'd done is I just bent the arm that's here we go, let me explain this. So what I was doing is the arm that's pinch breaking, instead of keeping it straight, what I'm doing is once I've brought it down, I'm bringing it back up here. So I'm going like, because I'm breaking with this one here anyway. That's it, that's it. So what you do is you bring them up, whoosh, whoosh, at the same time. Yeah, that's it. And it just gives you a different pattern. And in a minute, we'll talk about going from like in to out to in to out. So it'll all kind of come together. That's it. Very good, very good. Yeah, that's it. Well done, well done. So,
And I have a question when we get to elbows, but I'll wait for that.
we're getting to elbows, we're getting to elbows. We're going to add them now, don't worry. So, what we're going to do is from here, yeah, we're just going to go straight over the top. So the hoop is underneath. Okay. And we're just going to go in, so we've not got our hand underneath anymore, and we're just going to go in with those pinch breaks. Okay, so it's going to be harder because we've not got that stabilizer of this hand kind of taking the heat off that All right, and again, we want to be feeling those points of contact on our shoulder blade. I'm going to get to having your elbows in a moment. Don't you worry. That's it. So remember, when you're doing it, you don't want to move. You don't want to stick your chest out and go backwards, because you create like a dip in your back, which you don't want. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we can double tap as well, just like we did down here. Yeah, so we can get in, double tap. And again, because it is that tiny little bit of fleshy area that's under there, it's gonna hurt a little bit, okay? But it's the same as the tap that we did at the bottom. So we start by being quite tight on it, and then we just do that scratch at the side. Yeah? Cool. There we go. There we go. And you want to just see how many you can do as well. I quite like doing that. I like it. Yeah, it's like a scratch, okay? So what we can do from that is we can change that just into our elbows doing it. Okay, when we're doing that, what we're doing is, instead of bringing our arms straight down, so if you're learning pinch breaks, start by doing them straight down first, okay? And then just experiment. So like I was saying, you can experiment by just curling your arm up when you do it, and you get this whoa kind of movement. So you can play with that. Or instead of having our arms straight and coming down when we do it, so over, what we can do is we can just bring our arms down like this. Okay, so we've bent our arms, so we're going dish. So there's the same as this, we just folded our arms up. Yeah? So, same as before. In. I'm still, you feel it on that opposite side still. And you're pinching, it's still a pinch break, it's the same break. You've just got it on your elbows. Okay? Yeah? And remember, you've got to feel it. You've got to feel it on your shoulder. So Alex, let's have a go at that. Let's have these arms folded. Let's go for these elbows. That's it. So Alex, elbows. So over, elbow. That's it. And it's right underneath in a pinch. There we go. Really good. That's it. Brilliant. All right, and you've got to have, if you're going in with the elbows, you've got to have it straight on your back. You've got to have that control. Yeah, otherwise it's going to go everywhere, which we don't want it to do. Okay, so again, I branch on pretty fast. It's because it's a workshop, and I don't want, and I would hate the thought of being at a point where you're like, I don't know where to go from here. Like, shoot for the moon, guys. Like, this is where you're going to go from there. If you're like, right, okay, I've got this now. Now what do I do? Well, you add a paddle, okay? So the same as when we're doing our paddles, we add our paddle in. Whoa, there we go. So I go break, paddle, 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 break. Okay, so just come underneath and add your paddle. Break, paddle, break, paddle, break. Trying to slow it down. So all we're doing is we're just putting those components together. Yeah? Break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle. So we're playing around, experimenting. Nice. So remember, you want it to be touching your shoulder blades, guys. If it's not straight. And you want to be break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle. That's it. And you want your brakes at the side, never at the front. Let me see how you're getting on. You're doing really well. That's really good, Alex. There we go. Let's add a paddle. Let's have it making that contact at the back. Well done. Sylvie, let's go for it. Come on, girl, let's go. Come on. Nearly. Cool. Yeah. Good. Keep yourself nice and straight there. Remember, don't start to move around too much. It's counterproductive. Ask me. Oh, but you're gonna ask me a question. No, okay. May, how are we getting on, babe? Let's have a look. No! She's like, don't look at me! Aren't you there? There we go. Okay, Rochelle, how are we doing? Nice, okay, yep, and it's because, what do you think the top answer is? It's not touching your back. Ding! Yep, correct, okay, make sure it's touching your back. You want to feel it. When it's tapping your back, it's like, I got you. Yeah, it's saying it's there, don't worry. Sylvie, you going to ask me a question, hon? Nope, okay.
Quick question.
Yes!
So, with the elbow brakes, is it like the point of contact? Like, could it be the what's it called? The elbow or?
No. So I'm not going here. It's still up here.
Oh, so it's still up here. Okay.
Yeah. It's still So it's exactly the same. All you've done is you've bent your arm down, but you're gonna feel it's really trapping it this time. Yeah,
Yeah, forearm is better. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you've got it like there, I find they're a little bit springy. But when you've got it there, I find that you really feel it go hunker down on it. It really and you're like, okay, yeah, it's there. It's definitely there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what we can do is we can add in those doubles as well. So where we did the tick, yes, we can add that in with those elbow ones. Yeah, so we can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah. Now when I add these in, it's a tiny bit lower down. So it's a tiny bit more kind of there, where it would normally be there. So only a tiny bit, yeah? It's not down near my elbow. So I wouldn't do it down here. Not there. It's there. Yeah, so you can go 1, 2, 1, 2. That's it. There we go. And you want to do that on both sides and try and just double, 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 break, 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 paddle, paddle, paddle. Yeah? Good. Nice. That's it. And once you can kind of like play around with different patterns with that as well. So you've got the da da da, double, 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 paddle, paddle, paddles. Go in, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle. Whoa, then I can take it into these and go into my pinch, back over, and then we can come to a nice little thing that I call a break in, which I'm going to get to in 1 second. So we're okay? We're okay with those things? There's a lot. It is the magical mystery break tour. And there is plenty to play with, guys. There. And I like them. I love them. Because you can do them anywhere. They're living room friendly. They're little place friendly. Sylvie, do you have a question, hun? No? Okie dokie. All right. Yeah. Okay, right. Come with me now. So let's go and look at some of the last things we're going to look at. So let's have a look at this break-in that I just talked about. So again, we're combining these things that we've already looked at. So what I'm going to do is, so if we've got this, yeah, break, paddle. Oh, sorry, it's in my head. So we're going to go break and then I'm going to go in with the arm that's just broke, where I'd normally do a paddle, yeah, but I'm just going to go in and do a pinch break, and then the other arm is going to come out and do a break. So I'm going to go break, break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in. So it's like what we did down here, but we're doing it up here with these pinch breaks, okay? So pinch, let me just get off on it, there we go. So pinch, pinch, in, break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in. So I break with the right and the right comes in, and then I break with the left and the left comes in. Yeah, so break, in, break, in. So as soon as you break, and I'm pinch breaking, I bring that arm, as soon as it's done its thing, as soon as it's done that break, it comes in the hoop. Yeah, and the hoop comes over to the other side, and then I break with that one. Yeah, and then that one, as it's broke, comes in the hoop, and this one comes out, break, in, break. And that's why I call it a break in, because as soon as you break, you go in, break, in, break, in. Okay, and you've got this. Break, in, 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 break, in. And again, you can add those doubles. You can add in like a double scratch. And you just want to play around with different patterns, really. Okay, so have a little go with that one. That's it. And you can even add a paddle, so you can be like, break, in, break, in. Oh, just let me get my zen back. There we go. Break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in, paddle, 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 break, break, in. And then you can go, just start to play, experiment. Alright, so just gonna have a little spot, and we're gonna finish very shortly. And I'll throw something in a minute. Good. Good, you're doing really well. Nice, start it out. And remember, if it's coming up, it's because it's not making that contact with your back. That's good, Alex. Let's start adding in some different patterns. That's it. Make sure it's tapping your back. There we go. Good. Michelle, that's good. That's good. Nice. Very nice. But I think your breaks are still, I think they start here. And I used to do exactly the same when I was learning them. I would start here with the best intentions, and it would slowly start coming up here. And as it did, I'd kind of go into the matrix a little bit and then be like, way back up. There we go. Yeah. So don't go all like MJ dancing. Yeah. Keep those feet firmly on the ground. And remember, it's just happening at the side. We don't want to start with way this business. Sylvie, that's so good. Come on, girl. There we go. Let's make that contact with our back. Nice, nice, nice. Good. Pinch is at the side, and you want to feel that hoop firmly across your back when you're doing it. Yeah? And May, you have frozen in hoopy space. So I'm not sure what's going on with you. Nice. Good. Yeah! You went in with the double there. Nice, Sylvie. Cool. And that's all you need to do. You just need to get that confidence where you're like, yeah, I'm going to go in with a sneaky one. And you just kind of go like, oh, there we go. And then it's all good. Let's have a look, May. Any questions, honey? You froze? Are you okay? You good? I know. I feel you. That's it. Cool. So make sure when you're doing that, that's good. Make sure you're holding it nice and straight when you start, and you just whoosh, whoosh down. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna throw in our last ones, and then we are ending. Yeah. Okay. So last quick. So just gonna look back here. Just gonna come back to this point. This is the all the breaks, okie dokie. And what we're gonna do is we'll go in, so if we go here, stop, 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 stop. I did say we'd do some wrist wraps, so I'm gonna throw them in, otherwise like it'd be like you said that. So here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, as I do this break, where I'd normally break on the outside, so with my right hand, so let's just come back to this pattern. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to grab my hoop on the inside, okay? So instead of going break, I'm going to go, oh. Yeah? So break, grab. I'm on the inside, and he's grabbing it. Yeah? Break, 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 grab. Inside jump. Yeah. Cool. So from here, there are two routes. So your easy route is, what you're going to do is you're going to bring your hoop straight up. Yay! Into a lasso. Yeah. So you're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, inside, whoa, up. Yeah, so just get to grips with it. I always say with this, like, we're constantly told when we're learning hoop or whatever, depends who you're with, but like, these hands don't look nice. But today, green lit, like, go for it. Get your T-Rex hand on, yeah? So we're gonna go 1, 2, 1, oh! T-Rex hand inside, whoosh, straight up into lasso. Cool. Now if we're going to go hard mode, what we're going to do is when we grab it, and this is going to be awkward as, obviously, what we're going to do is we're going to bring it all the way over our body to the opposite side, as if we were going in for a paddle, and then back again, making sure that we make contact with the opposite side, otherwise it's not going to work, yeah? And then we can go straight up, or we can go 1, 2, 1, 2, up. Or you can just go 1, 2, 1, 2, and then into something else. So that's me slowing that down, so I'm going to show you in real time. So, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm holding the hoop, I bring it over, and when it gets to that point, I click it back. Okay, and you want to feel it on your back as well, and it's nice and controlled. Yeah? And it's really hard and awkward. Okay, so if you want, you can just go 1, oh, up, out, yeah? Or we can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, just over and out and out. Okay, but I'm grabbing the hoop on the inside. Okay, it's on the inside, not on the outside, on the inside. And then I'm doing this T-Rexy hand, and once it comes over to this point, I click it back. So it's like a scratch, so you go ka-choo, ka-choo, and you're grabbing it. And then if you get to a point where you're like, how do I get out of this, I've had enough, you just go whoosh into your lasso. Nice. And it's the same with that one, so if you've got it like you're holding it on the inside, yeah, you can also, if you do a little cup with your hand, whether you do your cup on underneath or over, you can do the same kind of thing. So you can be like, little cup over the top, and it's the same kind of mechanics. So you get to this point and you're like, well, now what? And you're like, I go back over. Meg.
I was just going to ask, if
Yeah.
you're trying to keep your back well when you're doing this, it means that you've probably got a smaller hoop than I have. And I was wondering, because at the beginning I couldn't connect, my signal is crap, and I missed what you said about hoop sizes. And
30. This is a 30.
okay, this is a 36.
Oh,
So is that...
yeah, that is pretty big. Yeah, like 32. So this is a 32. This is the biggest that I use, but I will use a 32 for everything. So if I'm performing, I'll use the 32s, a set of 32s for everything, because I think it looks bad if you keep on changing your hoops. So I think like get something and like stick with it. So all my single stuff, I do it with the 30 poly that's untaped because I don't give a shit if it gets scratched up. And then performance wise, I always go for a 32. So it's the same with the 32. I'm clicking it over. Same on the top, click, click, click. But the bigger the hoop, the more the room that's inside. So you're gonna have to really pull it over and make sure, so you can see mine's coming up a bit. I'm a bit rusty with this one, there we go. Yeah, so you need to really actively engage with it and use the space that's in it, because you've got a bigger space, which means you've got more time to react, but you've also got to make sure that you get those points of contact with it, because if you don't, because you've got that bigger space, it's gonna go wonky quicker, if that makes sense.
I'll try with the smaller, thank you.
Yeah, that's okay. Good. All right, folks. We've come to the end. We're at the end. You've done really well. It's really hard, like I said. If you just want to unmute yourselves while we say bye, that'd be great. So yeah, well done, well done, well done. You've all done really well. They're really hard. Keep on practicing. Remember what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. And just it takes time, and just like be honest with yourself. Just be like, am I touching my back? No, then you can touch your back. And yeah, I will see you all soon, and have a really good weekend. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Much love. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was lovely to meet you. Bye. Bye, May. Bye, Alex.
Bye.
Bye. Oh no. Anyway, hello! Welcome to your breaks workshop. This is my living room, and we're going to be going over breaks and paddles. But I'm going to teach it according to ability, so I'm going to break it all down, pun intended. So if there's something that you need to kind of work on, you do you, don't look at other people. And then if people want something a little bit extra, I can be throwing that in there, it's not a problem. So a few things to go over. I'm using a 30 hoop. Okay, you can use a 31, a 32, a 34, but remember, as big as your hoop is, hello Victoria, however big, just going to let another person in. There we go, hold on, there we go.
There we are, I'm in.
Everyone's in. So I'm just going to mute everybody. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So you are all muted. Fantastic. So I will mute you, and then I'll stop and I'll take questions. If you need any help, like, let me know, give me a wave, alright? Just to go over again, I'm using a 30, okay? I haven't got any tape on it. You can use a tape one. I used to use a tape one all the time. And it is normal during this workshop to have a bit of bruising, because you will be using quite tender areas if you are not used to it, okay? So that can happen, so just be aware of yourself. So I'm going to start. Can everybody do, so is everyone in here, are we able to do these? How are we with those? I'm just going to let another person in. Sorry, if I keep on bending over, it's because I'm letting people in. So, shall I start with Ninja and then move quickly on to going up to here? And then we can get straight into the breaks and paddles, yeah? Is that good? Is everyone okay with that? Let me know. If there's any, requests, let me know as well, and I will do that too. Okay, so I'm just going to, as a warm-up, we're going to start down here. So with breaks, it's all about stance. All right, so what you want to make sure is you want to make sure that your tailbone is tucked under, and you want to keep your back as straight as possible. You don't want to be doing this or bending forwards, okay? Because what's going to happen is your hoop is going to go wonky. All right, so we're just going to start here as a little warm-up with just some ninja breaks. So I'm holding the hoop, all right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to send it side to side, all right? And as I'm doing that, I'm catching the hoop, and when I catch it, it's got full contact with my back. At no point is it missing any of my back. At no point does it look like this. If it looks like this, it's going to fall down, and that is why your breaks are going wonky. It's because you're not keeping contact, okay? So first thing we're going to do, we're going to send it over, 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 and I'm stopping it right at the side. That's good. Holding it up, keeping that contact with your back. I can see some of you are not doing that, okay? So make sure, and one of the things you'll walk away from here with is pull it over and make contact, all right? So make sure it's touching your back the whole time, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one arm and put it next to us. So one arm is going to hold the hoop, okay, which is going to be your break arm, and the other arm is going to go down next to you, all right? So over, 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 okay? Notice I am not crossing my arms over. You do not need to cross your arms over. You are just putting them at the side of you. So it's like that, 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 that. You don't need to go like this, okay? So I'm going to bring it over, arm in the gap. Holding the hoop up, stopping it from going wonky. Super important. Over, in the gap. 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 Good. Okay, next thing we're going to do. We're now going to take the hand that is holding it, okay, and that's going to turn into a break. And when we do these breaks, we do them really clean, okay, so you don't have your arms bent, you don't have your legs bent, you're not absorbing the movement. I see a lot of people doing this kind of bounce when they're doing this. You don't need to be doing that. You just need your knees to be a little bit soft. That is it, okay? And you're going to do your break, and your break is going to happen right at the side of you here. So nice and clean, nice and clean, nice and clean. See? Goes down, bang. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is as I do that break, I'm going to bring my arm in. Okay? Like I just did with the over, over, over. I'm going to go break and it's in, break and it's in, break and it's in. Okay? So one arm breaks, and in that gap, your arm goes straight down. Okay, so wait. All right, so I'm looking at you. It's good. Okay, a lot of you just want to go straight into it. All right, but you do. If you want them to be straight, you need to go over the finer details, because that is where the devil's at. All right, so you need to pull it over. You need to make sure you're not dancing with it side to side, because it's going to make it go wonky as well. You need to make sure that your back's turned in, and you need to make sure that you've got that point of contact at all times, and that when you do it, it is nice and straight, okay? So here, straight, straight, okay? You can then, so I'll just press on, because I can see you're all wanting to get there. What you can do is then you don't have to hold it with your other arm. So we're just going to go in, 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 in. Now if you notice, my breaks are pretty straight. And that's because I'm doing all of the things that I just went over, okay? So in the gap, 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 in the gap. That's it. in. Nice, 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 nice. All right, so having a little go. Alex, can you bring your camera down a tiny little bit because I can't see your hoop? Our hoop's still, nice, cool. I can't see, I can just see your top half. That's better, thank you. Okay, nice, lovely. Got it on lockdown. Daisy, let's have a look. Cool, so go straight down into it. Straight down into that gap. Yeah? And remember, you don't have to like pull your arms over like that. Yeah? So just go straight down. It's alright, it's a habit. I see loads of people doing it all the time. They keep on crossing their arms. I'm like, you're making it a hell of a more complicated than it needs to be. Okay, Harley, let's have a look. Okay, so common things. Over, yeah? Holding it up, 4 points of contact. Wait a minute. Just while I explain this, I'm going to give a variation for everybody who can already do this. What you're going to do is you're going to add 2 taps. Okay, so I like to do double, and I think it's like I'm scratching a record. And I'm doing it with my arm, okay? So what we do is we do these double breaks. And how we do that is when we go in, yeah, we're going to rub it at the start, all right? So if I just show you from this perspective, nice. So it's here, I'm going to send it over, and our normal break is nice and straight and happens right at the side here, okay? But with this guy, it's going to start here, and then it's going to move, so there's a tiny bit of a gap in between you and the hoop, and you're going to scratch your arm forward and backwards really fast, all right? And that's going to give it that double break. You need a gap, okay? If you don't have a gap, I'll show you what happens. So if there's no gap, yeah, you're just going to go up and it's going to go down, okay? So the gap is super important, all right? So it's here, and then, and if you see, I'll show you this one, there's a gap that I'm scratching. Okay, so the hoop is not flat against my body. Yeah, so I bring this down so you can just see that a little bit better. Yeah, so I start with my initial break here, okay, and then I move forward, creating this little gap, and then I'm scratching the hoop between that gap and my body, and that's what allows it to move like so, okay? And you really need that gap. If you don't have the gap there, your hoop will fall down, okay? So gap, crucial. Nice, very good. Gap, really crucial, and really just think like you're scratching a record, but you're doing it here. So those of you who are comfy with those ninja breaks, I want you to be adding those scratches in. Okay, back to Holly. Holly, let's have a little look. That's it, so just hold it up. That's it, and keep it really straight. In, and then we're going to go tap and in. Yeah, that's it. And make sure when you do that tap, it's right next to the side of you. Tap and in, tap and in. Okay, and think about your stance as well. So like I said, posture good. Okay, knees bent. And going like that. Okay. Good, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Keep going with that. Lexi, let's have a look. Good, good. Okay, making sure the break happens on the side. If it's happening at the front, what will happen is the back of the hoop will go wonky. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. So this is my breaks at the side. Perfect. I'm going to go to the front and they're going to go floppy at the back. Okay, so from this angle, break, break, good breaks. And then if we start to do this, the back's going to go. All right, so never be doing your breaks up here at the front. They're always at the side. All right, just looking at everybody. Claire, that's really good. Vic, really good. Emma, that's good. Same thing. So making sure that the hoop's nice and straight. Okay, that's it. That's good. That's all right. And making sure that you're tucked in at the bottom. All right, cool. Okay, right. So I'm going to go straight up to here now because we're here for paddles. Yes. Right. So we're going to start with our arms underneath our hoop. Okay, so front to back, and like this. Cool. So arms are underneath. So Alex, your arms are on. There we go. Much better. Brilliant. Fab. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by doing our breaks up here. Now, when we do our breaks up here, I don't want you to be using your fingers to do your breaks. Okay. I want you to be using your wrist. Now, the reason I teach using your wrist is because your wrist is strong. Your wrist does not move. Okay, your fingers move, and if you catch it funny, it's going to hurt. Okay, your wrist is strong, it's always in the same place, it's not got loads of little bones in it, and it's not going to hurt as much as it goes wrong. Okay, so I've got the hoop here, it's making full contact with my back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it over, so this is my right hand, the one with the tattoo is my right hand side. I'm going to send it over with my right, and I'm going to break it with the left. Okay, so over, break. So I'm holding the hoop, and that's it. Good, 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 good. Yeah, we can crack on with this. This is good, 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 good. All right, I don't have to teach that a little bit, so I like that. Right, so when we're doing our breaks up here, okay, what we need to think about is points of contact. Okay, so when I hit with my right hand, so when I break, I feel the hoop on my opposite side on the shoulder. Okay, you need to feel it on your shoulder, so I'll show you what I mean. So I'm gonna send it over here. Yeah, so I'm about to break it, and when I break it, I feel it on the opposite side. If you can feel it on the opposite side, then your breaks will stay straight. Yeah, so break, but I feel it here. So every time, if I'm breaking on the right, I feel the hoop smack onto the left side of my back. Yeah? If I'm breaking on the left, I feel it smack on the right-hand side of my back. And that's what keeps it straight. Okay? Because it's touching my back at all times, and I'm keeping my back nice and straight. Alright? And that's how you get these lovely and straight up here. Alright, so we're twisting ever so slightly, and you only want to twist your top half. You don't want to be getting dancey legs on it. Okay, so I'm twisting ever so slightly, and bang, 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 bang. So every time you see me from the side, you'll see the hoop is hitting this shoulder. Every time I break on the opposite side. Okay, it's hitting. And it's that hit that keeps it straight. Okay, so if you don't have that hit, it's not going to stay straight. Alex, that's wicked. Well done. That's it. So, Daisy, keep your back nice and straight, and you want to hear it smack you. You want to hear it smack you on the opposite side. Yeah, and that smack, I always think it's a pat on the back. It's like, yay, go you, you're doing it. Yeah, and we've got to make sure our back's straight. We don't want to go forwards or anything like that. Okay, so Holly, really good. Your break wants to occur right at the side here. Okay, so this is where your break's going to happen. Right here. Never here. Never at the front, because when we break at the front, the hoop will go wonky. Okay, so when I do my break, it's at this side. Bang, 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 bang. So it's here every single time. Yeah, so more to the side. So side, 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 side. Good, good, good. Lexi, good. Victoria, very good. She's been practicing. Emma, that's good. Let's keep it nice and straight. So again, making sure it's making that contact with our back. Because if it's not, it will go wonky. Okay, so just tuck it in and make sure you feel it on that opposite side. Break, break, break. When I break, I feel it on the opposite shoulder blade. So break right, I feel it on my left. Yeah? Break left, I feel it on my right. Okay? Keeps it nice and straight. Claire! Good. Just need to straighten up. That's it. Make sure it's happening right at the side. So you break, 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 break. Okay? Good. Okay. Shall we add a paddle? Yes. Okie dokie. So I'm going to go with my paddles from here. I'm just going to drop the hoop a minute because it can get a bit complicated. Okay? So I'm going to start with my right hand side. I'm going to pretend I got my hoop, do my thing, and I'm going to break with my right. So I'm going to break, and when I break with my right, I'm going to take my left hand. I'm going to bring it up underneath the hoop, over to the right hand side. Okay, so it goes up and under to here. I'm going to make contact, so as I break, I push my hand out and I tap the hoop with my wrist. Now I'm only tapping, you don't need to try and knock it off, that's how you make it go wrong, yeah? So you want to tap. You tap it, okay, this hand comes out, and then this hand comes in, okay, and then this hand does the break, and then this one goes across, taps the hoop, and then the other one comes underneath, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle, okay? So the hand that breaks, the opposite one comes underneath to the opposite side, becomes the paddle, and then this one comes underneath as that one comes out, and you swap. That one's the break, that one's the paddle, that one's the break, that one's the paddle, okay? And all the time you are using your wrists, not your fingers, okay? Fingers bad, wrists good, yeah? And like I said, we're not going to go like this, yeah? No one needs to do that. That's how we send the hoop wonky. You want to make contact, yeah? You give it a nudge, a tap, a nudge, a tap, all right? And like I said before, you want to feel the hoop on your back. You have to feel it on your back. It has to slap you on the back, yeah? If it's slapping you on the back, you need to pull it over and make sure that's happening, because that will keep it straight, all right? Yeah? Let's have a little go. We'll pick our hoops up. Ta-da! Put our hands underneath. Yeah, you guys just go straight into it. Yeah, I love it. Cool. Right, so gonna break, opposite hand, underneath. Break, opposite hand underneath. That's my paddle. Break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle. Pulling it over, touching your back the whole time because it's super important. And then we're just going to go straight into it. So, there we go. Break, paddle, 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 break, paddle. Okay? And they're straight because I can feel it on my back. I cannot stress that enough. Like, you need to feel it on your back. Okay? That's good. You need to make sure it's coming over. So if you look, I'm not twisting loads. You can twist loads, but there is no need to. And I find when I twist, the more I twist, the more chance there is of it going wrong. If I stay pretty still and just let my arms do it, then it stays nice and straight, okay? I'm going to have a spot at you, so when I'm down here, I'm not being weird. Okay, yeah. I'm having a little look at you guys. I'm going to quickly unmute you, and I'm going to ask you all for some questions. Hello, how are we doing? Questions, come at me. Requests, come at me. Alex, you got a question?
Oh, sorry, I don't have a question.
That's cool. Anyone got a question? No. Okay, then I'm just going to look at you and tell you what you need to do differently. Okie doke. So I'm going to start with Claire. Okay, Claire, this is good. Things that you need to be looking at is your breaks need to happen here. 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 Yeah? Here. Here. Right at the side. Right at the side. Right here. Yeah? Never here. Never. This is where it will go wonky. Okay? Because it's about points of contact. Yeah? And if we do it here, it's going to miss our back. And that's why it goes a bit like wobbly. Okay? Good. So nice and straight. Back. Paddle. 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 Breaks happen here. 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 Paddle. Here. Paddle. Here. Paddle. Here. paddle, nice and straight. Yeah, knees are a little bit bent. Everything is tucked in, okay? And I'm making sure that I hit it here, because if I do, it won't go wonky, yeah? Okay, good. Okay, that's really good, Vic. All right, so looking, good, good. So Emma, let's have a look. That's good, it's okay. So that's it. So make sure, so we can just drill, just going, holding it with one hand, yeah? So I'm holding it with my right, and I'm gonna send it over and do my break. And just practice getting that break right at the side. Break, 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 break. Okay, keeping yourselves nice and straight. Okay, and it is like the temptation, and what I see all the time is everybody wants to go like Billy-O with this, and like you can go like Billy-O, but you need to, like I said, like the devil is in the detail. You don't want to be just hitting and hoping. You want to be making sure that it's super straight, super controlled. You want to be really confident, and you want to be able to show it off. So you need to make sure that it is touching your back, and you need to make sure that you are doing your breaks right at the side, and that you're not twisting away from it too much. Okay, good, nice, good. Okay, right. Let's change this up a little bit. All right, Uber. So we've just had a look at doing these. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch to this, and we're going to switch to having our arms bent. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing pinch breaks. Okay, and the pinch breaks are going to be happening underneath here in this super duper, really tender area underneath your armpit. Okay, sorry, not sorry. So what we're going to do is you're going to hold the hoop underneath here like this. Yeah, and you're going to give it a push, and as you give it a push, you're going to bring your arm down. Okay. So my arm is coming down exactly like we did down here, okay? But I'm doing it up here, yeah? So everything we do on the waist is totally transferable up to your chest, all right? So I'm now holding the hoop with my arms over the top. That's it, arms over the top. Okie doke. And I want you to just have it so it's in your armpit area. Lovely, yeah? And what we're gonna do is you're going to send it over, so I'm going to push it over, okay, and then I'm going to actually put one hand underneath to make it easier, just to start. One hand underneath, so my right hand's underneath and my left hand is over the top, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this one over, so I'm going to push it over like I would with a break, and then I'm going to bring this arm straight down, okay, straight down. And the point where I'm going to break is going to be right here, okay? I'm going to bring my arm down nice and clean, nice and straight, and it's going to happen near the back, never the front. Why never the front? Because that's how it goes flopping, okay? So, one arm underneath, holding it, one arm on top, on your marks, get set, go, okay? So you send it over, bring your arm down. You are pinching right there, okay? Right at that part of your body. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. All right, and you're just drilling, getting it straight. Yeah, video comes later. I'm going to bring this up a tiny bit more so I can stand further back. Brilliant, cool. Okay, so holding, send over, bam, bam. Okay, and my arm's straight when I'm doing it. Nice and straight. And it's happening at the side here. Okay, you're then going to do that with your right side. So I'm holding it with my left, and I'm just doing this so people know how to get it straight. And I'm going to send over and break, 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 break. Nice, 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 nice. Good. That's it. Nice and straight, nice and straight, nice and straight, nice and straight. Cool. Now we can turn this into something in its own right as well. So when we're doing this, you start to bring your arms up and down as you do it. like that, you got a brand new move. Okay? So, up, ah, 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 ah. So I've gone from what we were just drilling, getting that break, under there, break, under there, break, under there, break, to now bringing my arms up and down as I do it together. That's it. Alex has got it. Okay? So I'll go over that again. That's why it's important to go over the steps. Yeah? So I'm holding it with one arm underneath, one arm on top. I'm going to send it over, and I'm going to bring my pinch break underneath my armpit down onto the hoop. Okay? And the point of contact is here, right here. And it happens right at the side. Okay? It has to happen at the side. Nice and clean. Okay? So I'm holding. Push. Push. Like that. Over. Break. Over. Break. Then I'm going to change arms and do the same. Over. Break. Now what I'm going to do, that I can do that with both arms, is when I do the break, I'm going to keep my arms nice and straight and go down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Okay, and I'm going to keep my body straight. You need to keep your body straight. You don't want to be moving around looking for the hoop with your body. You are the axis. Yeah, you are the core. So you got to stay straight. So, brand new move. There we go. Bang, bang, bang. And then we can swap over. We're going to swap over. Oh, there we go. So how do we do that? Oy. So let's look at that. So we can go all crazy, changey with it. So the way that we do that is we're going to do this little thing. So we're going to come back up to this point here. And it is a bit of a whistle to stop tour because it's a workshop. Yeah. So I'm going to come back to here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little move that I call the break-in. And the reason I call it the break-in is because you're going to go break, and then you're going to go in. Yeah? Break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in. Okay? So we're going to have it here. You're going to break. Okay? So I break, and then my arm comes in. So my arms are here underneath. One will break, and then once it's done the break, it's going to come into the middle, yeah? And then the other arm is going to come out. That's going to do the break, okay? Then as I do the break, that one's going to come in, and that one's going to come out, yeah? So it's in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, okay? So in, break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in. Now the paddle. Yeah, you can do lots of stuff, right? So you're taking your time with it to do the break on one side. And remember, you're swapping your arms over. So you're going in, 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 in. Okay, so again, in, 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 in. Break, in, break, in. Okay. Break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in. Break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in, break, in. Okay, have a little look at you guys. And then we're going to add some paddles to that. Okay. Let's have a little look. So again, like, please, like, can we try and be straight? Okay, so don't, like I said, like when we do breaks, you want to be really concrete. Okay, you want to have a twist up here, but the rest of you don't want to be like dipping and turning too much. You want to be as straight as possible with your knees nice and soft. Okay, and you're just absorbing the movement, and you want to make an effort to feel it on your back. Yeah, that contact is what keeps it clean. Okay, so just looking, okay, and it is hard. Nice. Nice, Amy, nice, good. Getting some momentum and trying to keep it up here. Yeah, so making sure that our break's nice and clean. Yeah, when it happens that we're really quick and we're making sure that it's touching our back Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, Alex, that's good. I want you to try and not move around so much. I think that will be a game changer for you. Yeah, I think it's going to be a game changer. Yes, better. So just be more twisty on your top, yeah, but not twisting all the way over. Good, okay, so just do it in a little bit. So, Holly, let's have a look. Nice, this is good. This is good, keeping your back nice and straight because I think you're a little bit bent over. Okay, making sure that your break's happening right at the side. Okay, we're going to unmute and take questions. Oh, chat's got some questions. I have a way to kind of cheat the gap. But yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Free fire. I am using a standard Poly Pro. Standard Poly Pro. So standard sizing. It's not skinny. I don't like using skinny hoops for these kind of things because they're really bouncy and really whippy, I find. So when you start to hit them, they start to like go a bit like jello. I find they do, but I hit pretty hard. But so I find with like standard tubing, it's a little bit more less whip-like. But each to their own. I like skinny when I'm doing like doubles, like releases and things like that. Totally cool. Manipulation, much easier than using these because these are bigger. But I find like with breaks or anything where you're going to really take it out on the hoop, that ones that are skinny tend to go a little bit bouncy. But that's totally down to you. It looks like Alex is like, yeah, I agree with you.
No, I like bouncy.
You like bouncy? That's good. Yeah.
I'll show you why at the end.
Okay, yeah. I like bouncy, but I used to find with them, I used to feel like it was like it was too bad, like a whip. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it got that kind of bounce to it. It's good. Right, I'm gonna have any questions. You're all doing really well. Well done, everyone. No. Okay, so so what we just did with that break in, break in, break in, break in. And that's why I call it breaking in, because you're like, well, I break and then I get in it, then I break and I get in it, and so I guess I'm breaking in. Whoa, there we go, it's got a name. What we're going to do is we're going to change it. So we're going to do our break with our arm folded, okay? So instead of going break in, like some weird little dancing cats at a piano, which exists in my head, we are now going to fold our arms like this, okay? And we're going to make sure that our breaks happen here. So same shit, same break, we're just folding our arms. So we're going to go in, 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 in. So break in, break in, break in, break in, break in. And then once we've done that, we're then going to add a paddle, all right? And then we can start to like switch it all up and have paddles and different kind of patterns with it. Okay, so here's my hula hoop. I'm gonna have it right under here. Okay, so chest game needs to be strong. What does it need to be doing? It needs to be touching your back. If it's not touching your back, it's gonna go wobbly. Trust me. Okay, so we're gonna start. So I'm gonna send it over with my right, and then I'm gonna do my break. Yeah, and then I'm gonna do my other break. Okay, and then once I've gone a couple of times, I'm then going to do the break in, break in, break in, break in. And we can like keep our arms together in the middle, and we can start to do some things. Anyway, show you what I'm talking about. So, here we go. So I'm doing these. Oh, now I've folded my arms. And I'm making sure it's making contact with my back. I'm not flying all over the place. I'm very calm. I'm very still. Okay. It's nice and clean. It's happening right at the side, 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 side. Look how it touches my back every single goddamn time. And I know that's how it stays nice and straight. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to go break in and do a paddle. Whoa. Okay. So break in, paddle, break in, paddle, break in, paddle. Can't slow it down very well. Break in, paddle, break in, paddle, break in, paddle, break in, paddle, break in, paddle. There we go. So we're going from here. Yep, break, 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 break. And then we're going to go break in, paddle, 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 in, paddle, break in, paddle. So my arm is coming in, so I'm going to go break. This arm's going to come in, and as it's in, I'm then going to paddle, paddle, yeah? And then this one's going to come in, this one's going to go break. This one's in, paddle, break in, paddle, break in, paddle, break in, paddle, okay? And remember, we're just touching it with our wrists, okay? So let's go over that again. So we're here, and then we're going to do the break in, and we're going to add a paddle. Break in, paddle, 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 paddle, break in, paddle, break in, paddle. And the hoop is staying nice and straight. And I'm nice and calm. And I'm not going all over the shop. Okay, and I'm making sure that when I break, it's nice and clean. Yeah, which you can see here. Okay, got a really itchy nose, sorry. Itchy. Okay. So questions, and I'm gonna talk you through it. Okay, that's good. That's good. So take your time with it, and when you do, that's why I say, like, I know we all want to go like Billy Go, like we all want to shout, like we all want to be, you know, Rachel Lust. We want to be like, ah, but you've got to get down with the details. Okay, so you don't. If you start to do it, what people start to do is, as they're doing it, they start to go, oh shit, and then they start to crumple up, and then that's when the hoop's going to drop. Okay, so points of contact, your back, yeah? Make sure that your break is nice and clean. Okay, it's happening here. Right here. So I'll show you the back so you can see where they are happening. They are so clean. Okay, then we're going to just get in, and as we get in, we're going to paddle. Okay, and then this one's going to come down. This one comes in, paddle, comes in, paddle, paddle, paddle. Okay. 1, 2, 3, paddle, 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 break, paddle, paddle. Okay. You can also add double taps to these as well. Oh, that wasn't very good. So the same as when we do that. Okay. So I'll just throw that in if you want. So when we, at the bottom, when we did this, yeah, we can do that up here. So we can do the scratch. Okay, if we're doing the scratch up here, it's the same as it was down there. It's a bit wonky, apologies. So, oh, it's wonky too. There we go. So it's happening. And I'm doing the same. I'm creating that gap so that I can do that double scratch. And you can do that double scratch with these guys, with the ones. Yeah, so you've got your double scratch. That was crap, apologies. There we go. Double scratch, get scratch. Okay, and then we're going to bring it down with this guy. Yeah. So it's the same thing as what we did here. We do here, we do here. Okay, so again, down. Oh, sorry. So double. Okay. And you can add that into this. Oh. That's not very good. There we go. Take some warming up. Okay. So I'm going to have a little spot of you, have a little swim of water. So I'm sweating. That's why I came inside. It's horrible outside to teach. Okay. Any questions? Come at me. Come at me with questions. Holly, that's really good. Yeah, that's really good. Well done, girl. Really good. That's it. Come on then. That's
That's it, Amy. You nearly had it. I could see you like you nearly like got into a little zone there. Okay, so when we do the double scratch, at first you want it to be really close to your side, and then you want to create a tiny little gap, and it's in that little gap that you scratch it. If you don't have the gap, it will fall down or go, that's too close. So create a tiny little gap. It's like here. So it's like tiny. So if you can see, there's a gap, yeah, between, just a tiny little gap. If you've got it flat against it, it won't happen, okay? You just want to like buckle it, play with it in between that little gap. That's lovely, Alex. Yeah, love it. Okay, try and put a ninja one in there. Just be like, whoa. Good, Claire, let's take a look, hon. Good, keeping our backs nice and straight. That's good. Okay. Let's have a look. Well done, Vic, you're smashing it. And Lexi, that's it, so slow down, take your time. Okay, we're going to go for this one. In, and you can change it, and you can bring it into this guy. Yeah? So we can have a little go at playing around with patterns. Okay, so we can go now brakes and paddles, brake, paddle, brake, paddle, brake, paddle, brake, paddle, in, brake, paddle, change into that one. So how I just did the change, so I've gone from here to brake, paddle, and then I go to do my paddle, and I don't do the brake with the other hand, I just bring it up, ready to go into this. Okay, so I'll show you again, it's hard to slow it down. So I'm doing brakes and paddles. Okay, brakes and paddles. I'm going to come in for this one. Okay, I'm doing the brake, paddle, and then I'm going to just, instead of going in for the paddle, I'm not. Okay, so I'm going to brake here, and then this arm is going to come down, and then I'm going to go into a different variety of brake. Alright, so it's like that, you go in like this. Okay, we've got this one, and then we change it by not going in for the paddle. Okay, so no paddle, just over on the top. Nice. Very good. We want to stay nice and straight, and we'll be getting those points of contact. Okay, so let's have a little look. Okay, so Amy, nice and straight. Good, that's good. Nice and straight, nice and straight. Keep your back nice and straight. Don't be going sideways. Okay, so you are sideways. No sideways. Better. That's it. And remember, it's got to happen at the side. Okay. Whoops. Whoops. So at the side. That's better, that's better. So always at the side, never at the front. Okay. Look. That's good, Alex. So playing around with different ones. Really good. Trying to do a double tap in that. Cool. Okay. Done. Okay, so Amy. That's good, that's good. So keep your body straight. Keep your shoulders nice and strong. Okay, because you're leaning this way. I don't know if you realise it. Because you're leaning this way, like that, that's when the hoop is starting to go. So make sure that you're staying nice and straight. Okay? Let's have a look. Straight, that's it. Stay straight. And that will help. Okay. Okay, again. So, Lexi. Cool. Let's have a look. So, break over. That's good. Oh, break
In. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, so that's good. You're getting there. Seeds have been planted. I see that. And what we're going to make sure we're doing is we're going to make sure again that you keep your back straight. All right, and that you make sure that you can feel it on your back. Okay, because that's why it's going a bit wobbly. Okay, Amy, that's good. That's wicked. Holly. Good. Oh, come on to a different size Alex has. Okay. Claire. That's it. So Claire, up here, and make sure that it comes straight down. So your break's going to come straight down, and it's going to happen at the side. Yeah, so break, break, break. Okay. Yeah. All right. Does anyone have any requests of a type of break? No? Otherwise I'll just keep on throwing stuff in. Yes? Yes. Right, let me unmute you because I can't hear shit.
People are already unmuted.
You are, yeah. Why can't I hear?
I'm just tired and can't think of like any specific breaks.
Okay. That's cool. Then I'll just reel them off. Yes,
Hi.
Emma. Hi.
Could you, I've never seen the paddle before. Could you just show me that in a little bit more detail?
Which
please?
one?
The paddle.
Yes. Okay. So
Thank you.
with the paddle, I'm just gonna let my dog in. He's a sod. Come on. In you come. Okay. Right. So paddle. So shall I just go with the regular paddles? These ones? Yeah.
Okay.
Or whichever one you want.
It was more the paddle that was going to go for the break. I've not done a paddle before, but I couldn't get the paddle inside that break.
Yeah, that's fine. Just open the door so the dog can go outside. There we go. Right, so when you're doing paddles, the way that I always see it is like, it's a bit like Tai Chi. I don't do Tai Chi, okay? So like, if you do Tai Chi and you're like, bitch, what? Like, I'm sorry. But what you want to do is a bit like this Tai Chi movement, yeah? So you're doing your break, so your break's happening here, so your break's nice and clean at the side, and it's happening with your wrist, okay? So I'm going to go break, and then my right hand is coming up over to the left-hand side, yeah? And then I'm going to paddle, and then as I paddle, yeah, this other hand comes up and under, and this one comes out and breaks and comes over to the other side. Break, other side. Break, other side. So the hand that isn't breaking is always the paddle, and it's always coming up to the other side and then making that contact with your wrist, and then it's getting out and the other one's coming in. So you've got this kind of like matrix movement going on. Yeah? And you want to keep your back nice and straight. So if I show you that here, break, paddle, 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 break. Yeah? So break, paddle, break, paddle. So the paddle's the left, left's the break, the right's the paddle. Okay? And then we've got the same, we're doing them up here as well. So down, 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 paddle, 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 paddle. Okay? Change it up. Alright? That's it. So just remember, just like break it down in your head and just go, right, one arm breaks, one's the paddle. If it's the paddle, it's coming over to the side that breaks. So if I'm breaking on the right, my left is going to come over to the right underneath the hoop. Yeah? And then it's going to, as the hoop swings around, it's going to paddle, and then this one's going to come up and under, and that one's going to break and paddle. So I'll try and slow it down for you again. So this one breaks, this one paddles, paddle, paddle, paddle. This one comes out, yeah, this one comes under, break, paddle, out, break, paddle, out, break, paddle, out. Okay? Does that make sense? No, yeah, no. What I'll do is I'll leave you with a cool one.
Ask a silly question.
No, silly question, no such thing. Ask me.
Is there actually a function to the hand that's paddling?
Yeah, so you want to tap it. So you're just tapping it. You're not trying to...
Or is it trying to move it? I'm not actually making any contact. I'm just putting my hand in and I'm basically just kind of doing this, putting a bit like a silly ninja.
Okay, so you want to make contact because if you're making contact, it's keeping it in the right area. Yeah, I can't even do it, silly ninja. Yeah, so I always touch.
Which part of your ninja hand is making the contact?
Here.
So it's
Yes, always my wrist. Always your wrist. Never your
back out
fingers.
quick enough if I make contact.
Then you move
Like
your
it just
hand
hits
that
it, knocks the hoop off, and then I can't get it over the other side to break quick enough.
You can do it. You will do it. Yeah. So all you need to do is just practice, and you need to just make sure that you pull your hand out enough to touch it. So go out of your way to touch it. But like I said, you want to touch it. You don't want to get into a bar fight with it. Yeah. So it's like break, 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 break. And you want to feel these taps all over your body, and that's what's keeping the hoop in its place, yeah? Feeling that tap on here when you do your break here, and doing that tap here, yeah, when you're doing your paddle. And it's keeping everything here. Okay? Break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle. Question, Claire?
You do a neck break.
You want to do neck breaks? Okay. So, you want to do neck breaks. I'm going to put my hair out the way.
Got a cute bobble just for the occasion.
So neck break. So when we're doing neck breaks, do you mean doing them between this area?
Yeah, just when it's like spinning around your neck. Like I want to go.
I'm confused. Oh,
Yeah, great.
like that? Like this? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I saw somebody on I think it was on the UK Hula Hoop group. She was like going like that, and then she just went like that a little bit.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
like
so you mean like those? But they tend to do them like down here.
Yeah, like that.
Okay. So like that. I don't do those. You can do it. You can like break it here. I know that people do. They put their arms up when they do them here.
Yeah.
But I don't do them like that. I actually pinch. I pinch between my jawline and my shoulder blade.
Like the jawbreaker you taught the other day.
Yeah. So the jawbreaker is a roll. Okay, but it's the same principle. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot for a minute. So if you're doing it on your neck, so there are a couple of ways you can do it on your neck, and you don't need to use your arms at all. You don't need to do that. So I can teach it from a wrap perspective, and then I'll teach it from as if I've just gone into a roll, because the wrap perspective will be less hard on your neck to start with, and you'll understand the mechanics of it. So the hoop is in my right hand. I'm just going to bring this up ever so slightly. Fantastic. So my right hand, and I'm going to wrap it onto my left shoulder. Okay? So I'm going to bring it over to here. Okay? And what I do, I'm going to catch it between, my shoulder, my jaw, and my chin. Okay? And if you've got it there, you can kind of like gnaw it a bit, yeah? You can move it around. Okay? That's it. So push down on it. That's it. And I'm using my chin. I know it's not like the most prettiest movement when you're teaching this. I'm moving my chin, I'm moving my jaw, and I've got my shoulder blade. Now, I've had someone say to me before, like, my shoulder's down here. I'm like, well, move it up then. Yeah? So you can move your body. So move it. So just be like, up, down, up, down. So if I do this, okay, so I'm going to wrap. And what I'm going to do when I wrap is I'm going to catch it between my jaw, my shoulder blade, and my chin. Okay? And it's here. And then I can kind of manipulate the hoop between them. Yeah? Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be pushing down here. All right, so that is the movement. I'm just showing you that before you get it around your neck, because it's going to be way more complicated in a minute. And I like to do these just as wraps anyway, just be like, good douche. Whee! You can take them into whatever you want. Yeah? Whee! Okay? So let's do it from this area. Okay, so if we were to go from a roll or something like that, what you're going to do is you're going to put the hoop around your neck. Okay, so I'm going to go in from a roll so it's got the momentum. It needs momentum. Right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll from my right hand to the left side here. Okay, so right hand is rolling to the left, and I'm aiming for that spot where I just did this. Yeah, this spot here where I can just get the hoop. Alright, so I'm going to roll to there. I'm going to stop it, and I stop it here. Yeah, so it's like that. Sorry, there we go. And I've got it there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down. Okay, the hoop is going to go around the back of my neck, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side, and then I'm going to stop it here. Okay, just like this, same thing, yeah. And then I'm going to let it drop down and stop it here, and stop it here, and stop it here, and here. Okay, so if you roll it in, you should be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? But you've got to have it here. You've got to move down with it. You've got to send it where you want it. So I'll just give you a bigger picture of that. Is that a better picture? No, it's too low down. So I just want you to have me all in. There we go. So from a roll, remember you're rolling to the opposite hand. So I'm starting in the right. Sorry. I'm going to roll from the right to my left shoulder. Okay, and then I'm going to catch it in that catch that we did here, yeah? But I'm going to catch it like here, right? So as it's rolling and the hoop goes to go past me, it's at this point, so the rest of the hoop's gone, that I'm going to catch it, yeah? In that area, okay? I'm going to drop down, it's going to go around, and I'm going to catch it on the opposite side. I'm just holding it because it's hard to do it. Yeah, and then I'm going to do the same, and I can come out of it when I'm ready. Okay, so one more time. Roll, catch, and then out into another roll. So I always see other people doing that with their hands, with their arms. I don't do it. Yeah, because I just think just do it this.
Yeah, that looks a lot better as well, what you just did.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't look like I'm doing like backstroke. It's like someone's taking me out of the swimming pool and I didn't realise, and then you're like, shit, oh, I'm hula hooping. But yeah, I think this is just way more controlled, and this is a really good one to learn because this one you can use to do stuff like duck outs, like jawbreakers, wraps, things like that. You can do loads of other stuff that's really important. Where the arm one tends to be, it's like the when people do the wedgie thing. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. In my head, I'm not always right. Any questions? Because we are out of time. No? Okay. Thank you so much. You've all been wonderful. If you want to come at me with anything, then please do, and I will help you out. Or if there's anything particularly you want to learn, let me know. And I will see some of you next week, and I will see some of you again. And have a lovely weekend and enjoy the sunshine. Okay? Alright? See you later. You're welcome. Bye bye. Thank you for coming. See you later, guys.